Being a professional athlete, it's something that needs a lot of determination and self-motivation. It's hard to explain. It's not something that comes easy. I feel like my whole life is based around racing. Every decision I make, the progression of the sport, going to a race, making your times faster and becoming better, that's extremely addictive and it's hard to ever put down. I don't think it's something that everyone would enjoy. Super competitive with everything I do. My main focus when I was younger was golf and rugby. Always the goal was to be really good at those sports and maybe try to be a professional one day. I started quite late. I think I did my first race when I was like 19, 20. And then I started with a couple of downhill, eventually did a World Cup as well. I think it was 2016 when I did like my first proper enduro race. And I ended up winning that race, which was quite a shock, and realised that maybe this style of racing suits me better than downhill. And kind of from then I was pretty hooked on the idea of what enduro was. This massive adventure, bring all your own parts, all your own food, anything from 5 to 10 stages in one day. 2018 was my first year signing with a professional team. And then for the next 5 years we fully focused on the EDR World Cups. In Leithen in 2022, I think, we got the opportunity to race e-bike and normal bike. It really opened my eyes to what racing could be. I think we did 22 stages that day. People were dropping out, it was too long and bikes were breaking, and it just felt like it went on, and I really liked that aspect of the racing. It kind of brought it back to what EWS used to be, a long 8 or 9 hour day and doing way more descending time as well in one day. Later on in that year we had a talk about going full into e-bike World Cups, and that really intrigued me after doing my first one in 22, and I really enjoyed it. In 2024 I joined ROTWILD Gravity, and it was a pretty good year. I mean, ROTWILD is quite a unique brand. Like aesthetically, when I first seen the bikes, it was a lot different to the bikes I'd rode previously. But I feel like they put a lot of time and effort into the engineering and the aesthetics of the bike, and this was quite intriguing to me. I think we had a lot of figuring out to do, like the power stages and not running out of battery, different setup on an e-bike. Sometimes the parts need to be a little bit more robust, almost learning like a different sport again. Having a removable battery, especially one with a mechanism like this that happens so quickly, was an absolute essential in e-bike racing. We had short battery changeover sometimes, and for us this took seconds. Even riding at home, like the ability to go out and do double battery days has just made so much simpler when you can just click it in and click it back out. We obviously spent 2 years on the first generation of the EXC, and within those 2 years racing at the highest level, we were able to give a lot of our feedback and feelings and what we wanted to be inputted into the next generation, so we could really have a bike that we need to perform at the highest level. For me, this was a bike that was super easy to rely on and get on and just be comfortable right away, but also like that high-end performance adjustability, so we could also change suspension settings, angles of the headset, adjustable chainstays, because every week we race a different event. We constantly need to change and adapt the bike to suit that event and that race. So like if it's a little bit flatter, I find myself putting it in a steeper head angle. That just gives it a little bit more playfulness and being a bit more agile in the tight, twisty stuff that you often get in e-bike racing. The opposite of that is like if the terrain's super steep and long and very demanding on the hands, on the upper body, sometimes being able to like slacken that headset out really just gives you that comfort on faster, more unstable terrain. The rocker was something that I think we're constantly testing and trying, whether it meant like adaptive adjustment on the suspension settings. You could do that in the middle of a race. For me, the full travel setting on the rocker is perfect for for the trainer out at home. That ability to just really push the rear end and push the tyre into the ground and get stopped quicker, and also that like comfort and support on the rougher tracks around here. Unless the terrain is super flat and pumpy and I need to generate speed, I'll put that into the middle setting, shorten up the travel and have a little bit more support. I've always been full 29 since racing enduro. That's what I know, it's what I think carries the most speed. So yeah, coming here, filming on the production bike with the mid dropouts and the 27.5 rear wheel was actually really refreshing. I think like a mullet is a great option for most people. Just maybe make the trail a little bit more fun. So really trying to push the bike to its limit on how steep and rough the terrain can be on the way down and the way up. Really it's the power of the motor. It opens up a totally different style of terrain for this bike. We were finishing off the season with World Championships in Alps, Switzerland. I think I was running top 15 coming into the stage where it all went down. I was really pushing that day and really charging, trying to really get the most out of myself, and I just clipped a rock on the side of the track that I didn't see and flipped over the handlebars. I only remember little bits because it was quite a heavy hit and ended up breaking my back. I broke 2 vertebrae in my back. Yeah, the crash was definitely a bit of a reality check of how quickly things can go wrong. I was happy I was wearing my back protection that day for sure. It's a pretty demanding job, and the recovery from that injury, yeah, it took some time, a lot of time to think. It was pretty much 3 months of lying on your back. But yeah, really not for one moment was it like where I wanted to stop. It was how can I get back on the bike as quick as possible and get back to doing what I love. So during 2025 season, me and my girlfriend Faye and Rex, the dog, we moved to Morzine. So that was quite a nice place to recover, I guess, like being in the Alps and being in the mountains. That's where I love to be. When the back started to heal, I was able to get out and ride again and ride on the road. A lot of it really is based around the riding. With bigger mountains here, better tracks, with chairlifts in the summer. So kind of have nearly 3 months of training under my belt and riding properly again. Right now every week is at least 20 hours, if not 25 hours of training time on and off the bike, whether that's the road bike, e-bike or bio bike. On the enduro bike, this time of year is a lot of fatigue resistance. Instead of just chilling at the top of the track, you would normally do like quite an intense session or a sprint before the track. So when you enter the track, you're not thinking straight, your legs are heavy, your arms are sore. And really trying to ride clean and hit your braking points and still ride the same lines you do when you're fresh. For over 10 years now in racing, every time I get out on the bike, it's almost like a meditation, like a state that you need every day, like a fix that still gives you that feeling, even though I've been doing it for so long now. So honestly, for me, that's riding. Whether it's like out training and progressing and yeah, hone in on something to make you better at racing or riding bikes, or it's just going out with mates and having fun and playing around a little, that's something that keeps me, yeah, that's kind of my balance, I guess. So still riding, but almost switching off as well. My name's Kelan Grant. I ride for the ROTWILD R.EXC Gravity team, and I'm a professional mountain biker.